Here's an uncomfortable truth. Most everyday investors manage to underperform the very funds they own, sometimes by a full percentage point or more, every single year. Not because they pick bad investments, because of when they buy and when they sell. And the reason is sitting right between your ears. Your brain wasn't built for the stock market. It was built to keep you alive. And those two jobs are completely at war. Think about it. For roughly 200,000 years, the humans who survived were the ones who ran from danger, stuck with the tribe, and held tightly to anything that felt like food or safety. Those instincts got passed down to you. The problem? In the stock market, every single one of those survival instincts tells you to do the exact wrong thing. Run from danger means sell when prices crash, the moment you should be calm. Stick with the tribe means buy what everyone else is buying, usually right at the top. Hold on tightly means refuse to sell a losing stock long after you should have moved on. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to walk you through three things. First, the core wiring that makes losing money feel natural. Second, a realistic story with real numbers that shows these instincts quietly draining a portfolio. And third, the three most common mistakes this wiring causes, plus a simple fix for each one. By the end, you won't just understand why your brain does this. You'll know how to catch it in the act. Let's get into it. Let's start with the single most important idea in all of trading psychology. It's called loss aversion. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Psychologists have studied this for decades, and the finding is remarkably consistent. The pain of losing money feels about twice as strong as the pleasure of gaining the same amount. Read that again. Losing $100 hurts roughly twice as much as winning $100 feels good. So if you flip a coin, where heads wins you 100 and tails loses you 100, most people refuse the bet, even though it's perfectly fair. The math says break even. Your brain screams, avoid the pain. Now plug that into the stock market. You buy a stock at $50. It drops to 40. Logically, the question is simple. Is this still a good investment? Yes or no? But that's not the question your brain asks. Your brain asks, how do I avoid feeling this $10 loss? And the answer it gives you is, don't sell, because selling makes the loss real. So you hold a sinking position, hoping it climbs back, just to avoid the sting of admitting you were wrong. Then there's the second piece of wiring, your fight or flight system. When markets get violent, when you watch your account drop 5, 10, 15% in a week, your body literally can't tell the difference between that and physical danger. Your brain dumps stress hormones, like cortisol and adrenaline, into your bloodstream. Your heart rate climbs. And here's the cruel part. Those same hormones partially shut down the prefrontal cortex, the slow, rational planning part of your brain, and hand the wheel to the fast, emotional survival part. So at the exact moment you most need clear thinking, your biology gives you the opposite. Put loss aversion and fight or flight together, and you get a machine perfectly engineered to buy high and sell low. When everything's up and the news is glowing, you feel safe, so you pile in near the top. When everything's crashing and the headlines are screaming, you feel terror, so you sell near the bottom. You're not being dumb. You're being human. That's the whole problem. Let me make this concrete. Meet Jordan. Jordan's not a gambler, just a regular person with $10,000 and a brokerage app. Watch how the wiring we just talked about quietly cost Jordan real money. In January, Jordan buys a solid, boring index fund with the full $10,000. For a few months, it drifts up nicely, up to about $11,000. Jordan feels great, smart even. Then the market turns. Over 6 weeks, headlines turn ugly, and that 11,000 drops to roughly 7,400, down about a third from the peak. Now here's where biology takes over. Jordan checks the app 5 times a day. Every check spikes that stress response. The fear part of the brain is now driving. And one night, after a brutal red day, Jordan can't take it anymore and sells everything, locking in a real loss of about $2,600. The relief is instant. The pain stops. That relief is the trap. For the next 2 months, Jordan sits in cash, waiting to feel safe again. But the market doesn't wait for anyone to feel safe. It quietly recovers. By the time Jordan's confidence comes back, by the time the news turns positive, and buying feels comfortable again, the fund has not only recovered, it's climbed past the old high to about 12,000. So Jordan buys back in, at the top, again. Add it up. If Jordan had done nothing, just held the original fund through the scary part, that 10,000 would have grown to around 12,000. Instead, by selling low and buying high, Jordan turned a winning investment into a real loss of thousands. The fund did its job. Jordan's brain didn't. And notice, Jordan never made a stupid decision in the moment. Every single move felt completely reasonable. Selling felt like protecting myself. Waiting felt like being careful. Buying back felt like the coast is clear. That's the terrifying part of this. The mistakes don't feel like mistakes. They feel like common sense. So, how do you beat wiring that's 200,000 years old? You can't delete the instincts, but you can build systems that catch them. Here are the 3 most common mistakes, and a specific fix for each. Mistake number 1, checking your portfolio constantly. Every time you open that app during a downturn, you re-trigger the fear response. Studies on investor behavior show that the more often people look, the more losses they see, and the more emotional and worse their decisions get. The fix: schedule your check-ins. If you're a long-term investor, looking once a week or even once a month is plenty. Turn off price alerts. You can't panic sell at 11 p.m. over a number you never saw. Mistake number 2, making decisions in the moment with no plan. When you decide while you're scared, fear wins every time. The fix is to make your decisions in advance when you're calm and write them down. Decide before you ever buy. I'm holding this for at least 5 years. Or, I'll only sell if my reason for buying actually breaks. That written rule becomes a contract between calm you and panic you. And calm you is much smarter. Mistake number 3, trying to time the market, buying when it feels safe and selling when it feels scary. Remember, Jordan, feeling safe almost always means prices are already high, and feeling scared almost always means they're already low. Your emotions are a reverse indicator. The fix that defeats this almost completely is automation. Set up automatic investments, the same dollar amount on the same day every month, no matter what the market is doing. When you remove the human decision, you remove the human error. You end up buying more shares when prices are low and fewer when they're high, the exact opposite of what your panicking brain would do, and you didn't have to feel a thing. Notice the pattern in all 3 fixes. They all take the decision out of the heat of the moment. That's the entire game. You're not trying to become fearless. That's impossible. You're trying to make your important decisions before the fear ever shows up. If this reframed how you think about your own money, do me a quick favor and subscribe. This whole channel is built to help you master the psychology side of investing, the part nobody teaches, and it's the part that quietly decides whether you win or lose. I've also dropped some free tools in the description below, including a simple Decide in Advance investing rules template and a checklist to help you spot these biases before they cost you. Grab them. They're built to do exactly what we just talked about. Get the decision made before the fear hits. So here's the one thing I want you to walk away with. You will never outfeel the market. Your instincts to run, to follow the crowd, and to hold on tight will fire whether you like it or not. That's just being human. But you can outplan it. Every great investor isn't braver than you. They've just built systems that make the smart move automatic and the emotional move impossible. Decide when you're calm, automate what you can, and check less. Do that, and you stop fighting your brain. You start working around it. In the next video in this series, we're going deep on one specific bias that's even sneakier than loss aversion. It's called confirmation bias. The reason you keep believing a losing investment is about to bounce back long after the evidence says otherwise. It's the bias that turns a small mistake into a disaster, and I'll show you exactly how to break it. I'll see you there. Brief standard disclaimer. And just so it's said, this video is for education only and isn't financial advice. Always do your own research or talk to a licensed professional before making investment decisions. And that's a wrap on today's topic. If you found this helpful, be sure to hit like and subscribe so you never miss a lesson. Have a question about what we covered today? Drop it in the comments below. I'll be answering the best ones. If you want to dive even deeper, click on this next video right here, where we explore next topic. Thanks for learning with me today, and I'll see you in the next one.